Most people think you need to be a real developer to use coding as a tool. I don't think that's true anymore. Today, coding is becoming as accessible as Word or Excel used to be. And with AI, what I like to call vibe coding, everybody can start using code to automate their own life. In this video, I'm going to talk about what vibe coding is and why it's not just for developers, how you can start using it to save hours of time every week without building big production grade apps. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about vibe coding, which some call agentic coding as well, using AI models to help you write small scripts and tools that make your life easier. A lot of people think AI code isn't stable. You can't take this to production. It's not serious enough for real applications. And because of that, they just ignore or don't use it at all. My perspective is very different. You don't need to start with production ready software. You just need to start with you, your tasks, your problems, and your daily workflow. Coding is now accessible to everybody. When I say coding is accessible to everybody, I literally mean everybody. Think about how it used to be with tools like Word or Excel. You didn't need to be a document expert or a spreadsheet engineer to use them. You just learned enough to get your work done. We're entering the same phase with coding. Thanks to AI models like Claude Sonnet 4.5, GPT Codex, Gemini 3 Pro, and others, coding, especially in languages like Python and JavaScript, is becoming easier than ever. If you know how to install Python and run simple script on your laptop, then you can start automating a lot of repetitive stuff you do every day. And the best part, you can even use AI itself, ChatGPT or any other tool to help you get through the entire process of setting up Python or how to run scripts locally. So what do I mean by vibe coding? For me, vibe coding is using AI as your coding partner to quickly spin up small scripts and tools that run on your local machine and make you more efficient. If you're not trying to build a massive SaaS product. You're not worrying about thousands of users or scaling or uptime. You're just asking, what do I do repeatedly that a simple script could do for me? That's a mindset shift. So why not just use a chat interface for each time you require some task to be done? That's what you might be thinking. Can't I just use ChatGPT or any chat AI interface directly every time? Yes, you can. And for many things, that's totally fine. But there are a couple of problems with this approach. AI chat is probabilistic. So sometimes the response is perfect, sometimes it's off. You often have to re-explain the same context over and over again. You're not fully in control of exact steps being executed. When you convert those one-off AI interactions into script, two big things happen. Your process becomes deterministic. The same input, the same script is equal to same result every time. You can iterate on the script. If something breaks, you can ask AI, here's an error, fix this script. Over time, code becomes better and more reliable. Once the script is written, you can reuse it as many times as you want. That's a huge upgrade over manually prompting AI every single time. Let me give you a very small example, very practical example for this. Sometimes I receive a PDF file with multiple pages and I need each page as a separate file so I can store them and process them individually, right? Earlier, my process used to look like go to some website, upload the big PDF, and then break down the PDF into separate pages and download the split pages and manually file them. It worked, but it was slow and annoying. Now with vibe coding, I have a small Python script that AI helped me write, and all I do is drop the PDF into the folder, run the script, and the path of that file, the script automatically splits the pages and saves them in the right folder. That's it. So the moment email comes in with a PDF, I save it into the folder, run the script, and I'm done. No more visiting a website, no more clicking around. It's faster and I stay fully in control. That's vibe coding in action. Here is another real example. A lot of my videos end up being really big in size, for example 1 GB, 2 GB, or sometimes even more. Often I need to compress them to 100 MBs or 200 MBs or 150 MBs or even smaller. So now I could go and search for a website that compresses video. For that, I'll have to upload 2 GB file, wait forever, and hope it lets me choose the exact size I want. But that's a slow process. Sometimes those websites don't even allow me or give me controls that I need. So instead, I asked AI to help me write a Python script that takes video file, compresses it down to a target size that I exactly need, and saves it locally. This is where Python really shines compared to something like Node.js or React.js. Python has amazing libraries for working with video, audio, email, and more. Once you set up local Python environment, you can do almost anything locally. Now, every time I need to compress the video, I just run my script, get the size I want, and move on. No more uploading a huge file and waiting on some external websites. Now, let me give you a more complex and real life example. My YouTube workflow, which has a lot of moving parts, when I record a video, I typically need to stitch together multiple video clips, extract audio from the final video, clean up and optimize the audio, reduce the noise, make voice louder and clearer, transcribe the clean audio into text, use the transcript to create YouTube description or LinkedIn post or Twitter or X post, right? Or maybe at times even I use blog outlines from those transcriptions. So that's a lot of steps. Now, instead of one giant complicated script, I did something very much simpler. I created multiple small scripts, each one doing one thing. For example, script 1 extracts audio from video. Script 2 optimizes and cleans the audio. Script 3 transcribes that audio. Script 4 generates YouTube description or social media snippets from the transcript, and so on. I wrote each one of these with the help of AI and as and when I needed them. And then once I had those small building blocks, I created one wrapper script that takes the video as input, runs those scripts in sequence, drops the output into right folders. So now my workflow looks like: record the video, drag and drop the video in the right folder, run the wrapper script, and go do something else. When I come back, I have clean audio, transcripts, starting point for all the descriptions for YouTube and Twitter and LinkedIn, right? And all ready for me to manually review, tweak, and publish. That's the power of vibe coding, building your own little private automation factory. So if you notice a pattern here, instead of doing a website every time, instead of going or searching for a website every time or reprompting AI from scratch every single time, I'm building a reusable tools for myself. Once the script exists, I can use it forever. I can improve it. I can combine it with other scripts, and it always works the same way. This is why I think even non-developers should learn the basics of coding. Just like you learn the basics of Word or Excel. You don't need to become a software engineer. You just need enough to run a script, to understand the idea of input and outputs, ask AI to fix errors when they show up. Now, there are also cloud-hosted vibe coding tools, things like Bolt, Replit, Lovable, and of course, coding directly into ChatGPT or Gemini 3 console and similar tools. For non-developers or complete beginners, these can actually be a great starting point. You can write and run code in the browser. You don't have to worry about installing anything. You can experiment quickly and get into the mindset of using code to automate tasks. From a developer's perspective, though, I prefer having my code locally in my environment, in my own IDE, under my full control, because with cloud tools, even if you can export the code, you often need to still set up the environment locally, install the dependencies, fix path issues. That adds friction. So my recommendation is, if you're a complete beginner, you can start with tools like Bolt, Lovable, Replit, or even just ChatGPT. Get used to running code to automate processes. But once you get comfortable, set up a local environment in parallel, so that scripts that handle your files, things like compressing videos, splitting PDFs, automating your own tasks, run on your own machines. If you're already a developer, Vibe coding lets you go a completely different level. I'm still not saying ship production ready code purely written by AI. That's not the point. The point is you can explore new domains way faster. You don't have to learn the entire stack upfront just to get started. For example, let's say you've never built a mobile application or a web application before. Traditionally, you'll need to learn the framework, understand the build tools, set up a server, and learn all the obscure error codes. With vibe coding, you can ask AI to scaffold a basic app, run it locally, start experimenting and breaking things. When you hit a HTTP 500 or a 404 or some Apache or server config issue, you ask AI, what does this error mean? How do I fix it in this context? You are learning by doing, not just by reading. You can ask AI to break down a big problem into smaller ones, explain each domain. What should I think about for this part? You can ask it to suggest resources if you want to read something deeper, help you refactor and modularize your code later. And as you go, you can quickly come up with solutions from AI. Then you review the code yourself, apply your own engineering standards, and turn it into something more robust. It's very similar to how we used to use Stack Overflow or similar websites. You grab a solution, you study the solution, and then you adapt it. Now you have a personal Stack Overflow plus a coding assistant built into your own vibe coding workflow. So, just to summarize, coding is now accessible to everyone, not just developers. AI models like Claude, GPT, and others are incredibly good at writing code, especially Python and JavaScript. You don't need to build big production apps to benefit. Any boring thing that you do repeatedly, write small scripts with AI's help, run them locally, improve them over time. I genuinely believe everybody should learn the basics of coding, especially with vibe coding. If you found this helpful and you want me to do a hands-on video how I personally do vibe coding, let me know in comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who still thinks coding is only for developers. Thanks for watching and happy vibe coding.